Hey y'all, thanks for coming back. This is part 2 of my journey to weight loss surgery and having VGS surgery. I hope you enjoy. So in college and stuff, I was still like not skinny by any means. And then I discovered a camp called Camp Shane in New York. And I think I know it closed. It was a fat camp. So I applied to be a camp counselor there. And I got the job as a camp counselor, and it literally was the turning point in my life when it came to my weight. And I don't know that I've ever really thought about that until this video, but it really was like at that point I saw this community. Now remember, Facebook wasn't around like it is today. I mean, Instagram wasn't around, TikTok wasn't around. It was a community of people who literally spoke the same language that I spoke. When I talked about my weight, they completely understood where I was coming from. There were kids struggling with what I was struggling with when I was their age, and I was able to like help them. And that's the first time I ever really like spoke out about my weight and about how it affected me, and you know how it's controlled me my entire life. And I really felt like I had a family and a group of people who really got what I was saying. Kind of like how I feel right now today, having like my TikTok family and my Instagram family. But that camp really allowed me to talk and to be a person of support for people. And it really helped me open up about my journey. And I think that that's why I do what I do today with like posting things, because I can't imagine being a young kid and not having somebody tell me that they get it, because I felt really alone when I was a kid. Nobody got it. And I can't imagine being an adult in this world and like literally being like, am I the only person that feels this way? So that's why I kind of speak out and share my process. So anyways, after the camp experience, I did that for 4 years. And obviously like worked up the ranks there, but I started traveling for work, and I ended up working on cruise ships, and I met my husband working on cruise ships. And I also, beforehand, I dated somebody very seriously on another contract, and cruise ships are like that. But I really felt like I was where I belonged. Like I really felt like I was starting to like really find people that I could see myself being with forever. I was really experiencing life. I was traveling. I was getting to see the world, and I was seeing like they liked me, like I was fun, and I had a great time doing that. And when I met my husband, Anthony, I have hair all over me. When I met Anthony, I was about 180 pounds. I was athletic. I loved to work out. I think part of my like purging, I didn't throw up, but I was like workout fiend. Like I transferred addict to that. I was working out constantly, like super, super into that. I really loved my job. So everything was good. Life was good. Again, not skinny, but feeling good, feeling confident, like really feeling like when you say like, I wish I was as skinny as I was when I thought I was fat, like that was then. Like I was thinking I was fat, but in reality, like I looked fine. I looked great. So then we decided to get married, and we moved back to Illinois, where I'm from. And quickly we had a kid. And obviously, like, I love my kid, but I let that pregnancy get to me, and I just let myself go. I let myself eat whatever I wanted to. I felt like I'm pregnant, I deserve it. And I probably did deserve some of it, but not the way I let myself be. So I got a little out of control with that pregnancy. And then right after her, a couple of years later, I had another kid. And after I had Emery, I was thinking like, I really got to get this under control, because I'm allowing my bad habits, like my binge habits, to come back out again. The stress of being a mom, the stress of not really liking what I did at the time. My husband and I, we parent differently, so we were having, conflicts. I just would turn to food again, like always. And so I was like, what can I do? And a girlfriend of mine, her sister had this surgery a couple years prior. And I remember when she had the surgery, I was thinking like, I will never be that fat. Like I'll never be that fat. And than I was. So I was like, to be out, my thought process a lot of times is like, okay, 5 more pounds. And if you just put that 5 pounds like on my ankles, then I'll be good. Like, God, if I eat this and you just like put the 5 pounds maybe like on my face, then I'll be fine. But I would always like make excuses for why I would gain more weight. Like, I'm like, oh, the cheeseburger's so worth it. Just if you're gonna put the weight, put it in my ass. Like, literally, I would say that to myself all the time. And then I found out what she had, and I was like, okay, the sleeve surgery. So I got on on YouTube, and I got on Instagram, and I was like looking those things up, and that was in 2015. I was pregnant at the time, and I was like, I've got to get this under control after she's born, because I'm out of control. And I know I was out of control. I think everybody around me knew I was out of control, but nobody said anything, of course. So except my husband, sometimes he would say stuff like, he'd be like, why are you going downstairs? Knowing that I was gonna eat, a box of Oreos. And side note, if I did do that, I would keep the Oreos in there, and then I'd go to the store the next day and I would buy new Oreos and put them in there, so he didn't know that I did that. I bet some of you have done that too. Okay, so anyways, let me get back on track here. So I started researching a vertical sleeve and the sleeve surgery, and I was like, okay, this is definitely something I feel good about. But at the time it was kind of newer, so I was a little nervous about it. And then I found out that there was a hospital in my town that I could have the surgery done and my insurance would cover it. Now, at the time, my husband's insurance was different, and it was a 6-month program. So I started the 6-month program, and I shit you not, they made me go to extra counseling because of my, past eating problems. And we got to the final thing, and the girls, like, they called me, and I was like month 4, and she's like, okay, you've had your baby and everything. Now we need to get you on birth control, and then we can get you like scheduled in to see the surgeon and get your actual surgery scheduled. So I'm like, okay. So I call my OBGYN, and I'm like, I gotta get on birth control, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, well, you have to have a period after your pregnancy, and then we can get you on birth control. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I haven't had a period. I'm like super stressed. I was like opening my own business at the time. I'm like, it's fine. Like, it's totally fine. And she's like, okay. And then it got me thinking. I'm like, wait, time out. Me and Anthony have only had sex 1 time since the birth, and that was like literally a kid walked in, so that's a whole different story. So we really didn't even have sex. So I'm like, what? Like, I'm not pregnant, but I had a leftover pregnancy test. So I ran up to the bathroom and I peed on the stick, and I mean, literally within 30 seconds, like 3 seconds, it was like pregnant. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I get through this whole weight loss program. Pregnancies are my outlet to like be a bad habit eater. I get through this whole thing and I'm pregnant. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So once again, here we go again. The weight starts piling on. I'm using the pregnancy as an outlet to eat whatever I want. And lo and behold, at that point, after Taylor was born, have gained 100 pounds since I met my husband. So at that point, I had Taylor. I was 280 pounds. I've never said that out loud. That's crazy. So I was 280 pounds after Taylor. I was like avoiding the scale. Because my weight was growing so much, I was just like, fuck it. Like, let's keep eating. Like, I'm just gonna gain all this weight. So I just kept eating, and I would like literally avoid the scale. If I went to the doctor's office, I would turn around so I wouldn't see the number. I gave up on me. Like, I literally gave up on myself. I just thought, my kids are my world. If they wanted a piece of candy, I'd give them a piece of candy. I eat a piece of candy. I mean, like, our habits were so bad, like so bad. But then Taylor is going to be 4. So I thought about doing it again. I went through this process. I went through the sleeve process one more time with a different hospital, got to the end, found out my insurance wasn't gonna cover it, and I was gonna have to pay $40,000. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I just kept getting thrown against the wall. Like, I just felt like I was being like every time I was like there, it would be like, boom, smack in my face, and something would happen. So finally I told my husband, I said, I'm gonna pay for it. Like, I wanna pay cash for it. And we started saving money for it, and I was putting like cash away every paycheck. It was a little over $11,000, and I was just like sliding money to the side for about a year. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I have about 8,000. Let's go. Let's schedule it. I'll figure it out. And we scheduled it, and it was going to be April 4th, and COVID happened. So once again, thrown against a wall, like literally thrown against a wall. And I'm like, okay, strike three. Clearly this isn't meant to be. Like, clearly I'm not meant to have this surgery. And I was giving up, but I was still following people on like Instagram, still following people on YouTube, and I just was seeing their success, and I just kept thinking like, that'll never be me. Like I have too many problems. Like this will never be me. And then the hospital called, and when COVID happened, I had to like dip into my money to like to be able to support myself because my business was closed. At this point, I started working out because I had hit my highest weight of 289 pounds. And when I saw that, I was like, if I get to 290, I'm gonna be devastated, like devastated. So I started working out over COVID and like trying to watch my weight, and I'm doing like, I mean, I'm not kidding you, I'm getting back into like what I used to be with like fitness, and I lost like 4 pounds. That was it. And then that was my sign that I was like, this is what I have to do, because I'm doing all of this, and I lost 4 pounds. So the hospital called in, when did they call me? September, August maybe? And they were like, okay, we're doing surgeries again, and here's what we have open. And they had August 31st and September 14th. And I was like, I don't want the 31st. I don't know why, it just sounded like I didn't want to do it. So I said September 14th because my husband and I's wedding anniversary is the 15th. And I wanted that to be like my like, I'm gonna do this for us. So anyways, at the point I wasn't sure. I still was like, is this the right thing? I love food so much. Like I love food so much. And I wasn't really sure if I was like making the right decision for my life. But I thought, I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm not gonna worry about complications because I'm already on this path of like not being around forever. I'm literally gonna get to the point where I'm in a wheelchair if I keep going the way I'm going. But the thing about me was the whole time was like, I never really had any health problems. So like I didn't have diabetes, I didn't have like high blood pressure, like I didn't really have any health problems. I was simply fat, I was just fat. So I kept thinking like, oh, I'm fine. And then I'm like, it's all gonna catch up to me eventually. My husband didn't want me to do it. My dad didn't want me to do it. The only people that did were like my brother and my mom. They were like, you can do this, you got this. So I blocked out all that noise, and I made the commitment that I was gonna do this. You know, with 3 young kids, a business, like I just thought, how am I going to do this? But I'm going to do this. And I made that commitment. And I mean, like, to tell you guys like how, oh my God, why am I getting emotional? How like all of those things in my past have like led me to this moment, and to be able to share this with people. And it's led me to this life, like this like rebirth. I mean, that sounds so corny because it's not really a rebirth. Like, I mean, I got here, I did it, and I'm very thankful that I did it. I mean, to tell you guys, to look back and look at the things I used to do to my body and the things I used to say to myself and do to myself, I can't believe that I did that. Like, that's so harmful to me. And like, you are the only one that looks out for you. And I'm really happy about my decision to take this journey, and to share my story and to be here for any of you who need any help. But anyways, that's it. That's how we got here and how I had surgery. I probably left a couple of things out, but I hope that this helps some of you, you know, get to where you need to be. If you have questions, you can hit me up on Instagram, or you can follow my TikToks. My TikToks are where it's at. That's where I post a lot of things. But I'll be posting more videos about my weight loss journey as we go. I'm 8 weeks post-op right now, and I'll be posting lots of things. So if you want, subscribe, please. Follow me here and follow me on all, stalk me. I mean, I would love that. So if you have questions, again, reach out to me. Love you guys. Have a great day. And thank you for watching this really long video about my whole life. Bye, everybody.